Break free from distraction and gain the vision to spot global wealth before the masses. In this first secret, how to escape the digital trap and see global wealth opportunities before the masses without fear, doubt, or hesitation, you'll find yourself uncovering the hidden pattern that first movers have always understood. The ability to escape the digital trap and see global wealth opportunities before the masses is what separates first movers from those who hesitate, and once you understand how to shift your perspective, you'll never miss an opportunity again. Because you are beginning to recognize the hidden patterns of wealth creation, you'll be able to identify the exact signals that reveal an opportunity before the world catches on. What will it be like to look back at this moment, realizing that you forgot what you should have already known? You don't know what you don't know. And that's why some people see opportunities while others miss them entirely. Right now, you might assume that the world works in a certain way. That you're operating with full awareness, seeing everything clearly. But what if you were only seeing what was designed for you to see? What would it be like when the real opportunities have always been there, but just outside of your awareness? So, let's try something. For just a moment, forget everything you think you know about how wealth is created. Let go of what you've been told about risk, timing, and what's possible for you. Because as you do, something else will begin to emerge, a recognition that the wealthiest investors have always understood. And when you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Pay attention now. Because this is where everything changes. Before we dive in, let's start with a small but powerful commitment. This is for you, not me. When you're serious about unlocking new opportunities today, take a deep breath, sit up straight, and type "I'm in the comments. In this moment, as you continue reading, you may easily become aware that there has always been a hidden pattern, one that first movers have always understood and that most people never see until it's too late. And as you recognize this, you may suddenly comprehend why some people automatically realize opportunity, while others watch it slip away, wondering how they missed it. I might suggest that the more you think about it, the more you'll naturally understand that history always repeats itself. And in that truth lies the difference between those who create wealth and those who only hear about it. Some people see the signs before the rest of the world catches on and move swiftly, positioning themselves ahead of the masses. Others hesitate, waiting for confirmation, waiting for the news to tell them it's official, waiting for someone else to go first. And then there are the regretters, those who never act. They sit on the sidelines, watching the opportunity unfold, telling themselves they will act next time, only to repeat the same cycle again. What would it be like to see what's coming before the masses and to know, with absolute certainty, that you moved at the right time? Can you logically understand the power of recognizing the next wealth shift before the rest of the world catches on? Now, raise your hand or type yes in the comments when you've ever had a moment where you knew you should act, but you hesitated, and later regretted it. The world has always been divided into three groups: first movers, latecomers, and regretters. And you already know which group builds the greatest wealth, don't you? Wouldn't it be incredible to know, beyond all doubt, that you were ahead of the next great wealth shift instead of watching from the sidelines? Act now or pay the price later. Why timing determines your financial future. Some people hesitate. They tell themselves they need more proof, more certainty, more signs before they act. But have you ever noticed that by the time everyone feels certain, the greatest opportunities have already been taken? A study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that early investors in emerging real estate markets see an average return on investment of 380% compared to those who enter later. Now, imagine yourself knowing that moving early could mean a 380% return on your investment. Would you hesitate, or would you act? You do want to be on the right side of history, don't you? Because when you look back, you will either easily recognize that you acted at the right moment, securing your place before the masses, or you will utterly experience what it feels like to watch others collect the rewards that could have been yours. Think about Costa Rica in the 1990s. People dismissed it as too risky. The media said it was undeveloped. Meanwhile, first movers quietly secured beachfront estates for next to nothing. Today, those properties are worth millions. The latecomers paid 10x the price just to enter the market later, and the regretters? They tell stories of the deal they almost took. Now, Imagine yourself 5 years from today. Pretend you're looking back and realizing that you saw the pattern early and took action. Picture yourself standing on the land you secured when others were still doubting, while others hesitated. And now, imagine knowing that you expanded beyond hesitation and secured your place before the masses even noticed. Write this down. You're really going to want to write this down. The only risk is waiting too long. I will say it again. The only risk is waiting too long. And as you consider this now, you may rapidly notice that the only real danger is hesitation. Can you see how recognizing the pattern early gives you the power to claim opportunities before they're obvious to the rest of the world? Hesitation costs more than you think, the hidden price of waiting too long. Some people never break free from paralysis by analysis. They wait for perfect clarity, never realizing that clarity only arrives after the best opportunities have already been claimed. And as you think about this, you may simply recognize that hesitation has never created wealth. Do you suppose that first movers in history waited for a perfect sign? A person might suggest that certainty is an illusion, one that keeps most people stuck. You may be wondering, is this my moment? And I invite you to consider, how surprised will you be when you realize it already is? Because beyond every hesitation is the simple truth: the greatest fortunes in history were made before the masses understood what was happening. Imagine yourself owning the land before the boom. Picture the people who once doubted, only to pay you premium prices later. Feel the certainty of knowing you positioned yourself ahead of the wave, rather than chasing it. And now, ask yourself, wouldn't it be incredible to know that you moved before the rest of the world caught on? Because the sooner you recognize this, the faster you step into the future you deserve. Take a deep breath. What would it be like to already know you made the right decision? Isn't it true that the greatest regrets often come from the chances we didn't take when we had the opportunity? The next move defines your future. Why this decision changes everything. Let's suppose you act today. Let's suppose you secure your place among the first movers. Can you imagine what it would mean to look back and truly experience the power of that decision? Because after you make this choice, the path is clear. You step ahead of the market, owning assets before prices skyrocket. You remove yourself from the masses who hesitate, forever locked in doubt. And you claim your place among the few who recognize opportunities before the world catches on. But let's suppose you hesitate. Let's say you let fear dictate your decision today. You watch as others move forward, confident in their future while you remain stuck, hoping for a perfect sign that never comes. And in 5 years, you find yourself looking back, realizing that this was the moment that could have changed everything. Which version of you do you want to be? Type "I'm a first mover" in the comments when you already know the answer. Because what would it be like to know that hesitation cost you a fortune? And how surprised will you be when you recognize that those who act now will be the ones who own the best positions? Wouldn't it feel amazing to look back just a few years from now, knowing you moved at the right time while others hesitated? Act now or pay later. Why this moment defines your financial future. Escaping the digital trap is about more than just seeing opportunities, it's about training your mind to recognize what others ignore and act with certainty before the masses ever catch on. As you sort through the many signals of first movers from among the countless distractions the world throws at you, the ones that truly matter will stand out as undeniable patterns that reveal where wealth is being created. You'll find yourself using them in a way that allows you to create powerful investment decisions that not only secure your financial future but also free you from the cycle of hesitation and regret that keeps most people stuck. You are standing at the exact moment that determines your future. You'll naturally realize that you can either take control or watch someone else do it. And as you feel this decision settling in, you may automatically realize that this is not about whether a wealth shift is coming. It's about when. Because the window for first movers is always small. And before you know it, the latecomers will arrive, driving prices up. Then, the regretters will realize. But by then, it will be too late. And the question is, which one will you be? Raise your hand when you already know that waiting has never created wealth. One of the things you may logically understand right now is that hesitation has never made anyone wealthy. And as you see the possibilities now, you may already recognize that the moment for action has arrived. And the sooner you move, the sooner you step into a future that others will wish they had seen in time. And now, I invite you to consider one final question. Are you ready to become the first mover, or will you allow another opportunity to pass by? Since you now see that first movers are always the ones who benefit most, do you see how now is your moment to step forward? Because by the time the world catches on, the door will already be closed. And now, as you reflect on everything you've just uncovered, you may suddenly comprehend that knowing when to move is only one piece of the puzzle. Because before you can truly take advantage of being ahead of the masses, another question arises, one that separates those who see opportunities from those who actually claim them. And what happens next changes everything. Right now, you have a choice: keep passively listening, or fully engage so you walk away from this with real, actionable insights. When you're choosing to engage, say "I choose to learn" in the comments. The world is divided into first movers, latecomers, and regretters. And in this moment, you are deciding which one you will be. Recognizing opportunity is the first step. Now, let's reveal how to spot the next booming market before the rest of the world catches on.